Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right?
Guys, it is episode 10 of the Peach Chronicles. Episode 10 of season 1 of Atlanta. The name of this episode is The Jacket. This is a very filler but interesting episode, if you will. If you've been rocking with me through this first season, I appreciate you. I've been putting a decent amount of time into these episodes. I really enjoy talking about them. I understand a lot of this is old and a lot of people haven't seen these, including myself, haven't seen a lot of these Atlanta episodes in 5 to 7 years. So, as excited as I am to get into the later seasons, I do want to thank anybody who's been rocking with me for these first 10 episodes. I know some of it's probably been slow. I know some of it's probably been not timed well, but I feel like I'm starting to catch my stride, starting to understand what this is. So let's go.
It's like, y'all my niggas, but y'all ain't my niggas.
I've been to parties like this by people or with people who are just popping a little bit, so in no way am I saying I'm hanging out with a celebrity. But at this point in Paperboy's career, he's kind of an Atlanta celebrity, but he's not really like nationwide yet. He's starting to grow. And a lot of times you do this. You go to somebody else's house. That just allows a house party. You say Paperboy's going to be there, and you throw a crazy party, and it ends up messing up somebody else's house. But now people aren't at Paperboy's house. People aren't looking to rob Paperboy, if you will. People aren't looking to... Well, people just don't know where you live, but they got the honor of partying with a somewhat big celebrity. And I feel like it's how we feel like we know a lot of celebrities. I feel like that's what's going through this dude's head as he cleans up. It's like, yeah, I fuck with Paperboy. Yeah, I know Paperboy. Yeah, I know some of y'all kind of by name, but we not close enough for you to be destroying my house like this.
A blue bomber jacket. Have you seen it?
Can we hurry up and get some food?
I've been in a position at friends' houses, and they just have a woman that they don't introduce. You don't know who they are. It seems like that's kind of their gal, but they may have slept on the couch. If you guys have seen this situation also, please put in the comments below, because I am confused by that situation. I've been over to friends' house, especially like weed dealers, stuff like that, to where it's like that's their homegirl. It seems like he's smashing or something, but it's not a close enough gal to introduce you to, and not a close enough gal to... But she would say something like that, are we gonna eat? And she's not even helping clean up. She has her leg on a pizza box, not doing a goddamn thing, because she doesn't live there, but she kind of wants the benefits of living there and getting fed. I don't know. I'm rambling on for sure, but I've just seen that exact situation in homes, and I'm confused each time.
Free chicken sandwich day, nigga.
He's walking around confused, and that dude is really a real one for telling him what's going on. Chick-fil-A does this for any international viewers. Chick-fil-A does this here in the U.S. If you dress up in like cow stuff, they'll give you a free chicken sandwich. And you only have to be dressed up as much as that dude was just dressed up. It's the funny thing. And people are wearing these full cow suits. All you do is put a couple spots on a white shirt, and they'll give you the chicken sandwich. But people be going over the top. Like people, I don't know if it's the United States thing or what, but we'll go over the top for a chicken sandwich. And as Ern is eating the chicken sandwich, he don't have no cow stuff on, but that's my point. Like, he probably put something on and went in there, said moo, and that was it. You know, maybe found a spot laying on the ground or something. But people love going all out.
I think I left my jacket in there.
Still gotta charge you 10.
Can't you just look?
Nope.
Donald Glover in real life clearly does not like bouncers. He hasn't given a single good bouncer role yet. He doesn't like bouncers. He doesn't like anything affiliated with clubs, clearly. This dude is just being an asshole. Just like the dude who wouldn't let Darius back in the section was just being an asshole for no reason. Especially when Ern couldn't get caught. I guess maybe somebody would use that excuse, but it's a midday at the strip club too. I could see at 10 p.m. not letting somebody in because they might just try to sneak in there and just stay without paying the cover. But you could just step away for a second midday at the strip club. Ern has something against bouncers, and I think just plus clubs in general.
I'm his manager.
Oh, really? Y'all need a girlfriend music video?
Another person who is giving Ern some clout just from his affiliation with Paperboy. Another sign that Paperboy is growing. Like, Paperboy is becoming a serious artist. Like, people are jumping at the opportunity to speak to somebody just because they're affiliated with Paperboy. And Ern's a nobody. We'll especially see towards the end of the episode that Ern is still in not a great position. But these parts of the script, these parts of the show, are just hinting at the fact that, Paperboy is growing.
Not the biggest titties. Like, they were pretty big, yeah. She was like her. She looked like her.
Nigga, them titties ain't big.
Whatever. I don't know the titty median here.
The titty median. It's a hilarious way to put it, but to me, this shows the description between the color. Like, black people never know how to describe the color of somebody. It's very difficult because everybody's judgment of this is different. Somebody's light skinned to somebody's super dark to somebody else. Somebody is like dark as fuck. Like, so there's all these different levels of darkness along with the titty median of each strip club or area and what somebody would consider a big tits or big ass or whatever. And just showing to me the humor of how difficult it really is to describe people, especially when people just have different judgments. Because somebody like a woman like that works in a strip club will probably have a whole different definition of big titties than somebody who's a school teacher or something. And that doesn't go to the strip club often, as well as all the different color, all that different stuff, how big the ass is. All these things would be morphed a little bit by somebody who works in kind of like the sex industry versus somebody who operates in a normal planing.
Told you.
Ern has to always let it be known that he hates shots.
I hate shots. You know that, right?
But as somebody as myself who hates alcohol and who doesn't really drink alcohol, I can be convinced to drink alcohol. I relate to him a lot in that. And to where it's rare, and you definitely won't catch me out every week, and you definitely won't even catch me out every month. You might not catch me out for a full year, but I might pop out, do something, get drunk, and then dip back out and not do that for a long time. In this exact type of situation, I won't be out in public throwing up or nothing like that, but I relate to the fact that you don't have to enjoy drinking to do it, strangely enough. You don't have to enjoy anything, really, to do it.
No, you don't understand. Just take your soul.
And Darius is kind of right. Like, the phones do take small pieces of our soul, especially when we're filming. And the way he puts it is so interesting. And, of course, like I've talked about every episode, Donald Glover has to find the right opportunity to sneak some of his personal truths in there, at least how I interpret it. I don't know Donald Glover, so obviously I don't know this to be true. But I think sometimes he just sneaks in those lines because when you're filming things and you're at the concert and stuff, I go to a lot of concerts and I look around and everybody's got their phone in the air, and I wonder if people are enjoying it, you know. And if we're in the club and everything needs to be filmed, are we enjoying it? And I feel like that's why a lot of like dancing has died in the clubs. That's why nobody wants to look like a fool. Everybody's scared about being filmed. And so Darius, although in this situation he's looked at as the crazy one, he's actually perhaps the only sane one in the situation.
Set like a trash can on fire or something?
Right. Oh, yeah, that did happen.
Paperboy's habit still has not changed. Bo out here chilling on the couch in the grassy knoll. And not to say things should have changed completely, but in my opinion, with the amount of time we see him in these places, he should be in the studio just a little bit more.
Pissed.
Well, so what? Fuck him, man.
So even with Paperboy saying, "Hey, fuck him," I'm like, okay, so Paperboy, he's growing and starting to use people. That's really what that is. And that sounds harsh. I'm not saying that Paperboy's a bad character or anything like that, but That's why old boy was like, y'all my niggas, but y'all not really my niggas. Because somebody that's truly a nigga wouldn't just dip, not help clean, not even hit you up and see how everything's going and shit like that. Paperboy was really just trying to use his spot and not expose himself. Not only that, I'm going to bring up the Snapchat thing. I don't even know if Uber Black was a thing at that time, but how he's moving isn't even impressive. And I think that's kind of the point when we look at all the Snapchat videos and stuff, like all of them scrunched up in that small, low-level Uber, one woman between three dudes. Paperboy feels like he needs to be stunting more, but clearly, like, the stunting that he's doing right now isn't even good. It's not even impressive. And I think somebody like Earn, who's seen a lot at this point, seen more than probably Darius and Paperboy, has a little bit more of an idea of what stunning actually is, and realizes, like, maybe we should just chill because the stunning we're doing isn't even good stunning. It's not even impressive. Let's wait till we can actually impressively stunt, not half-ass stunt.
We need to start stunting on niggas more.
Stunning's a kind of a trap.
That's black people's #1 problem. Man, they don't know how to have fun.
There's just a 0% chance that that's black people's #1 problem. That's actually something that a lot of us tend to enjoy to do. Our money management, and I'll put myself in there, isn't always the greatest. Nobody's is, but it affects us more. And I'm not going to get into racial, historical dynamics and financial shit. But regardless, the fact that they think like that should scare Earn, considering he's the manager, and this is what he's kind of fighting against, this idea that they have. And Darius has these ideas, and he's agreeing with Paperboy, and Darius makes no money. So it's kind of hard. So he's fighting two guys, one dude who don't have that great a sense in Paperboy, and another dude who doesn't live in this world and makes no money.
I think if we spent the time we spend thinking about not spending money, spent that time on spending money, then it'd be time well spent.
Darius, dude, that's one of the worst lines that Darius has ever had in terms of just being straight up dumb. Sometimes what he has, the lines he has, are lined with some type of strange wisdom, but that one was just like, nigga, what are you talking about?
Man, you didn't even bail my ass out when I was actually in jail. You mean I guess?
That conversation with Darius, just messing with him, saying I guess, they're becoming closer friends. And these nights they're spending together, this time, it's showing to me that their career isn't necessarily going as fast as they want, but the relationship amongst these three is growing. And this is how the season is ending, with these three just kind of coming together as more of a clique. And what's going to need to happen to launch Paperboy into the next stage of his career. So although we haven't seen any growth really in Paperboy's career other than in the lines of other people saying, oh, that's Paperboy, or oh, you're Paperboy's manager, here's my sister's panties, or whatever from last episode. If we get past some of that, Paperboy hasn't had real growth. But now it's kind of showing their relationships are more important to establish before the growth is even going to happen.
48 hours, all black cast. Does that even work?
I'm sure that's a good line. I really don't even know. I'm actually about to look up what 48 hours is. If that's something I should know, forgive me, but... Okay, so actually, 48 Hours is a buddy cop action comedy with Eddie Murphy that came out in 1982. So with an all-black cast, so it had been two cops that were both black, I guess in a black police department or something like that. Okay, I don't know, but that's the reference, I think. So it's either 48 Hours, it couldn't have been 48 Hours, the news show, because it could have been black anchors doing that. Sorry that took so long, but I guess to y'all I skipped through all the time it took me to read about what 48 Hours was.
I'm Senator K. He wants to go on tour with you.
Senator K? Yo!
That conversation was so confusing. Like, just get ready.
Something off.
Paperboy's hood senses are tingling. he knows something not right.
Gentlemen know Fidel Arroyo?
F money?
So Darius whole time knows who Fidel Arroyo is. He calls him F Money in a confused look, like, because Darius knows people of all the different races and all the different areas of Atlanta. He's just like a connector, like he knows people. And so but why in that moment? It's like it's just in another world. Like, why would you say that? Even if you do know who he is, why would you bring that up? You know that these guys are pointing assault rifles at you and shit. You should just be like, bro, I don't know what's going on, even if you do know what's going on. And then this highlights how, I remember this was in like a J. Cole interlude, and when he found out he was getting signed, he got arrested and went to jail that day. And that's not this exact story, but he told that story in one of his mixtapes. It might have been Friday Night Lights. He told that story. And a lot of times I feel like some breakthroughs happen in the midst of horrible things happening also. Like a family member will die, but your life is changing for the quote unquote what it should be, positive. You know, you lose a friend, but you're the healthiest you've ever been yourself or something. Like weird stuff happens in conjunction, I feel like that often. And so these guys are about to die right after they get the call that they want to go on tour. They're sitting there, and Paperboy can't even enjoy the news of the tour because he already knows something's off, and he feels off in that moment. Like, that sucks. Like, that should be a moment where you're sitting there, oh yeah, y'all light up, you spark up, whatever. Instead, you're getting pulled out of the car by the FBI, and they about to light you up.
Jack? There he goes. Oh, take him.
I think this scene, along with some other ones, really just highlights how anything can happen in Atlanta. Atlanta is a little bit like Chicago, and not to say that you would just see this all the time, but you could just see some random shit happen in cities, in big cities where stuff's just going on all the time. And for them to see this play out, and for the dude to run out in his jacket, he could have chose anything to wear. And he chose the jacket that Earn left in his car the night before. Just hilarious, man. He could have worn anything. But he had to die in Earn's jacket. This shows me, this upcoming apology that Paperboy gives shows me that they're getting closer. This is the first instance. Like, Paperboy doesn't show Earn a whole bunch of sympathy or empathy throughout early in this show. For the first 9 episodes, Paperboy really looks at Earn more like a leech. But the fact that he's like, man, sorry about this. Even how he didn't want to drive him over there. He doesn't see them as like mutual friends. He sees Earn leeching off of him when Earn is really working hard for him and getting him some opportunities, clearly.
Sorry about the jacket, man.
But the fact that he's probably about to go on tour now, the fact that him and Earn have been through some shit together now, they're starting to bond more. And we saw that earlier with Lakeith Stanfield's character with Darius, and now we see it with Paperboy.
The whole thing was crazy, though.
And cool.
Yeah, it was a little cool.
I think mostly only Americans would say that that was cool. We like violence here in America. And through Donald Glover's music and through lines like this, he clearly understands that, or clearly sees that, or agrees with that as well. Only an American would be like, man, that was kind of cool. To watch a dude get aired out, you don't know what he did. He didn't seem armed. He was running away, and the police just aired him out in his front yard in front of his family. Like, I feel like only an American would be like, yeah, that was kind of cool. And regardless of race, just any American. We like violence, we like guns, and we have a certain amount of thirst for stuff like that, strangely enough.
I ate them 2 blunts when the cops came. Tonight's gonna be weird.
Eating 2 blunts wouldn't do nothing, but had to give Darius the little weirdness there. And when things are at their darkest, some light appears, and that's just what happened to Earn. That's inspiring to me. I've been in some times where it's like, there's no money, there's no whatever. You just keep pushing on, you keep trying, you keep knocking down that door. In the same way, even how he's searching for his jacket. And eventually, like, some good will come to light.
Hey, man. It's your 5% or whatever. You coming in?
Nah, I'm going to Vans and Lottie's.
And in saying, "Are you coming in?" Paperboy knows that Earn is like homeless, like pretty much. But it really shows to me personally, as somebody who could be potentially a future father, how much easier it is to go home to your family if you're providing for them. Like, Earn hasn't been able to provide for his family, and it's hard, I would imagine, to go home when you can't give them anything. Even though your presence is important, and he has been present in Lottie's life, I feel for Earn, especially as the episode continues. Paperboy's letting him know he trusts him. He's getting paid 5%. He had at least probably like $500-$600 in his hand. You know, that means Paperboy's making a little bit of money. And why Paperboy waited till that moment to give it to him, I don't know. That's just how it was written. But there's some trust growing in between them. Paperboy is not a very trustful person. The only person he really trusts is Darius, which is very dangerous. But clearly, Earn is starting to earn his keep, and he's starting to prove to be the right choice.
I think
He didn't inhale.
He didn't.
No.
It's even cool how they show Van letting Earn in, welcoming him in, and he hasn't even given her the money yet. Like, Van's a good mom, too, or a good parent as well. Like, they're trying. Because she could be really resentful that Earn's not making very much money. But even with the music that's playing and the vibe that they're presenting, maybe just after the Juneteenth party, they're on better terms.
You go, your key. Hey, yo, look, so what's up? You come to work tomorrow?
Yeah.
So he made some money, but he didn't make enough money. He didn't quit your job money. He didn't make I'm not going to work tomorrow money. But now we also learn that, and I'm honestly just putting this episode together. I'll take the shame. If everybody else figured this episode but me, that's fine. But yeah, he was looking for his key all day, and that's why he even asked to search the dead man's pockets. But sometimes you do that. I've put something somewhere while I was lit and been like, I'm gonna need this later, so I'm gonna keep this safe here. And I've forgotten where it was before, just like he did. But sometimes you prove yourself right. Bo was in a bad spot not having that key.
It's for you.
What is that?
It's that thing we always need.
It's easier to have a good relationship when you can provide something, just like I was saying. This is a cool episode. You can see also that they're on good terms. She, at the end of the day, to me, like, she dressed nice for him too. Like, people who don't care, she could have just been with her daughter and just not cared. Like, she has her hair done nice, she's dressed nice. Like, they're on decent terms right now, and the money will definitely help with that. So now we see what Earn's key was for. We see why it was so important. This is his only space that he has. He's growing. He went from couch in Van's bed, then to couch. Now he has his own little piece of something, and this is the start, the end of the first season. But his relationship with Darius is getting closer. His relationship with Van is getting closer. And his relationship with Paperboy is getting closer. And his vision of himself. Now, once you taste that first little bit of money, I've been there. Not that I'm super successful, but once you just get that first thing that's like kind of giving you some momentum going forward, that could be huge. Play some Andre 3000 and like he does in this scene. I don't know if I'm going to be able to play it for copyright stuff, but he's been at the bottom. We've already seen him at the bottom, and now he's about to start his rise as the manager and work with Paperboy, hopefully, I guess in their eyes at this point, to like be big. But I'm excited to do season 2. I've always wondered if people lived in those, to be honest. I'm sure there are people who spend nights in containers like that all the time. I feel like that it could be damn near common. But Earn's touched a couple dollars now, and I'm excited to see what happens next. I don't even necessarily remember a lot of season 2. It's been a while since both these seasons came out. But guys, that's season 1 of the Peach Chronicles. I'll see you guys next time.
550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right?